I cut the check, I cut the check, I cut the check. Tell my niggas we up next, so we up next. She shot a text, she shot a text, she shot a text. Kill the I might put the different day, put a nigga on that same shit. I've been ballin' with my niggas, Kevin Kingbridge. Oh, you drippy, but you better tuck your chain quick.
What's up, guys? We back here on Between the Lines, and of course, today we're going to talk about the NBA again. I was thinking earlier I might just make this an NBA podcast because I don't know if football is coming back because Corona's going to hit even more in the winter, fall, and then I have a feeling baseball not coming back. And those are only three sports I was going to talk about, so I might just cut those two out and just talk about basketball from now on. So I don't know, we'll see. But how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all staying safe? Hope y'all staying safe and staying away from all this trouble and getting this money. But first we're gonna talk about how some players feel like the NBA shouldn't come back because what's going on in the world, it would be a distraction. And some players feel like it's the opposite of that. Like if the NBA was to come back, it would be a bigger platform for them to express their feelings. So let's get into it. So Kyrie, at first he was okay with going to Orlando to play basketball. Well, he was going to play, but he was going to support his team because he's hurt. So he was okay with it, but then they told him he couldn't do that. So he said now he's flipped the script, and now he said he doesn't feel like going to Orlando's a smart idea with all this stuff going on, all the racism and stuff. He feel like that's a distraction. But to me, I don't feel like that's a distraction because it's the NBA, one of the biggest leagues in the world as far as any sport, and that's a platform that you should use to express your feelings on what's going on in the world because you're getting a lot of looks, a lot of people are watching you. But he just feel like that's a distraction, which I don't understand. And people think Kyrie's crazy. I don't say he's crazy, but like that don't make no sense, Kyrie. That don't make no sense to me. You're given this platform, and you have a lot of kids looking up to you. Like a lot of kids look up to Kyrie, and he knows that. So if you go out there, I'm not talking about Kyrie, but like let's say LeBron, he understands. If I go out to LA, I got a platform. I'm one of the most famous athletes in the world. So he's gonna express his feelings, probably right on his shoes, Black Lives Matter, or during the Pledge of Allegiance, stand with his hand up. Like it's so much things you can do when you're out there that you can express how you feel, and you'll have so much eyes on you. It can impact so much different people in different ways. That's why I feel like they have to go out there, and that's not me talking like I just want basketball back. Of course, I want that back, but I also want to be safe, and I want this stuff to just go away, like all this racism stuff to go away. And I feel like this would be a big part because this is a big thing. Everybody's gonna watch it because it's the only sport that's gonna be back, except MMA. But like nobody really watches that. But yeah, I just feel like the players should play, and it'll benefit so much. And then some players is like, yeah, it's easy for Kyrie to say he doesn't want to play because Kyrie makes a lot of money. But like players that don't really make that much money, that don't really have that big enough role to get paid that much money, they feel like that's not fair to them. And like they're coming back because they need the money. So, and during this quarantine, everybody's losing money, so they need to come back. So I just feel like everybody just understand the bigger point is to express and to educate others. And while you have this big platform, you can do that. So that's what I think he needs to understand. But my main topic. So today I'm gonna talk about players or teams to look out for when the NBA comes back. So let's get into it. My first player that everybody should be scared of, everybody's gonna be scared of, is LeBron James. Now, me, I'm a Kobe fan. I've always been a Kobe fan since I was little. R.P. Kobe. But I knew that Jordan was the GOAT. Michael Jordan was the GOAT. Especially after I seen the Last Dance documentary, I just figured like, yeah, Michael Jordan is the best player of all time. But to me, LeBron James in 2018, the last time he was in the playoffs, was the best player I've ever seen in my life. He was unstoppable. You couldn't guard him. You couldn't do nothing to him. So he basically carried that team to the finals. Now you can say he had a little bit of help. Yeah, he had Kevin Love was averaging 17 and 9. And you had like little bits, pieces in George Hill, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, Tristan Thompson. But like LeBron was carrying the load by himself. It was a picture. Actually, it was a play in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals where LeBron went for a layup and he was getting held on his shoulders. They were holding him back. And he threw the layup like that, and then he made it, and it was an and one, and you just see him start screaming and flexing. And I was like, yeah, LeBron's doing something different this year. Like, nothing's going to stop him to get to the finals. And, like, that was a picture for the whole playoffs for LeBron. Like, you couldn't stop him. It was impossible. So, that was the best player I've ever seen in my life, and that was in a big moment. He averaged 34 points, 9 assists, 9.1 rebounds, 1.1 block, 1.4 steals, and 53% from the field goal. So, like, he was doing everything. He had a 51 8-8 game in game 1 of the finals. The only reason why they lost is because JR did some dumb stuff. We're not going to talk about that. If you know, you know. And he was the MVP of that finals if they would have won. Unfortunately, they didn't. He was averaging 34 points, 10 assists, 8.5 rebounds. And he just did so much in that playoffs. He had a game-saving block against the Pacers, game 4, game-saving block. Then that same game, he had a game-winner, fadeaway 3. Next series against the Raptors, first of all, they swept the Raptors. His team was the 4th seed. The Raptors were the 1 seed. They swept the Raptors, and he had a game-winner, game 2, running floater. And he just did so much stuff. He had so much big games in that playoffs. Like, it was so hard to stop him. Game 6 against the Celtics. Shoots the game-saving 3. Bumps Jason Tatum. Now, Jason Tatum got him back in a game 7 when he dunked on him. But he still didn't win. LeBron was on a mission. There was nothing stopping LeBron. So I just feel like when the league comes back, he's definitely going to come back with a vengeance because he didn't make the playoffs last year. And that's what LeBron does. All he does is win. So he's going to come back even more scarier. And he's got better to me. Now he's a threat all around. Defense, scoring, shooting, passing. So, like, it's going to be real hard to stop him. And that is the best player in the world to a lot of people and to me too. So, we'll see. My second player is Kawhi. Now, last year what Kawhi did was amazing to me because he did something smart that I noticed, which was he took a lot of games off in the regular season. Like, a lot of games off. So, when you think about it, when he went to the playoffs and played every single game in the playoffs, Kawhi, he had the freshest legs. Everybody's playing every single game in the regular season. Kawhi's just taking off because he understands the bigger point is the championship. And to win the championship, he has to be healthy. And he had some injury problems. Just came off an injury that made him miss a year. So he understood. I'm going to take these games off. But in the playoffs, I'm unstoppable, which he was. He had the freshest legs in the playoffs. He averaged 30.1 points, 3.7 assists, and 3.9 rebounds, and shooting 49% from the field and 88% from the free throw line. So he was efficient. He had a lot of big games, especially the famous shot against Philadelphia where he had 44 points that game, and in Game 7 he had 44 points, and then he dropped the 45-11 game, the first game of that series. So, like, he ended on a high note, started on a high note, and he was just unstoppable. Now, the only time he looked down was Game 1 of the playoffs when they lost. Like, he didn't have that. He had a good game, but of course it was overshadowed because his team lost to a game winner, but they still won. They went all the way, won the championship because of him. He just played amazing. Then he hurt his knee in the conference finals, but it still wasn't stopping him. He was still doing the same stuff. And that's not the only reason why I feel like he's going to be crazy in his playoffs, because I've seen something different from him where they played the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. They played the Bucks. The Bucks were up 2-0. Giannis was killing them. You thought that series was to determine who was the best player in the league. And Kawhi won, but let me tell you why he won. Giannis was killing them. Kawhi wasn't guarding Giannis. Now, we all know that Kawhi is one of the best defenders ever. So, it was kind of confusing. Like, why is he not guarding the best player? They changed it up after that. So, after the 2-0 lead, Game 3, he guarded Giannis. Held Giannis to 3-7 that game. 3-7 forced 2 turnovers. Giannis was not doing nothing. And Kawhi didn't foul him at all. He didn't have no fouls. So you do all that without fouling Giannis, a person that backs you down, gets his fouls. I think he averages 9 free throws a game, so he gets to the line frequently. And you did all that without fouling him, and you stop him, you completely shut him down. That just shows that he got into that second gear where I'm going to carry the offensive load, to carry the defensive load. And the Raptors understood, all right, Giannis can beat us. I mean, everybody else can beat us, but Giannis can't beat us. And that's what they did. They put their best player on Giannis. He stuck Giannis throughout the perimeter. If Giannis was to get past him, you have Towers in the back and Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, who would just block every shot he throws up. And Giannis, he couldn't do anything. Giannis was shooting 30% when getting guarded. Sorry. Giannis was shooting 30% when getting guarded by Kawhi. So he really couldn't do nothing. And after that 2-0 lead, they swept the series after he started guarding Giannis. So this year is going to be crazy because he has a lot of help. Kawhi has a lot of help. And Paul George, Pat Bev, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell. He has a lot of help, so he doesn't have to carry the offensive defensive load because all of them can stick elite defense instead of Lou Williams. But everybody else, they can stick elite defense, so he can take a break. But he still can carry when those players are off, and he will do that. And that's why him and also this team is scary to see in the playoffs because they're so star-studded. And, like, they play both ways. Dominant on offense, dominant on defense. So it's going to be so hard to stop them. That's why if I'm the Lakers, I don't want to play them. I really don't want to play them. Because that team is so scary in the playoffs after what Kawhi did the year before that. But we'll see going on. That's my team. All right, so this next one is a team that I think that everybody should be scared of in the playoffs. I think people should look out for the Mavericks. Now, to me, I think the championship is coming out of LA. Is going to be either the Lakers or the Clippers. And I see the Bucks, they have a chance, so I will put them at third. I will put the Lakers, Clippers, and Bucks. But right after that, I will put the Mavericks. Because to me, the Mavericks, other than the Clippers, they're the deepest, scariest team in the league. Now they're led by Luka Doncic, sophomore point guard, averaging 28.7, 9.3 rebounds, 8.7 assists. So he's almost averaging triple-double. If the season wanted to stop, he probably would have averaged a triple-double. And then they're also led by Kristaps, who's averaging 19.2, 9.5, and 2.1 blocks. And when the season was coming to an end, that's when he was coming into his own. The old Kristaps we seen, the all-star. Like, he started off slow, but he was coming along, giving us those 30 and 15 games that we used to seeing from him a couple years ago. So this team is so scary because they're so top-heavy. But then again, when you look at the rest, they're not. They got Seth Curry, who any day can give you a 20 ball and stick efficient defense. They got other guards in Jalen Brunson, DeLon Wright, and JJ Barea, who can come off the bench and play make for you and just help your team when Luka goes to the bench when he needs a break. Then they got shooters off the bench and Hardaway, Justin Jackson, and Seth, like I said, like them three that when Luka or let's say Jalen Brunson, DeLon Wright, when they drive, they're just waiting right there for the three. And that's an easy three for them. Then you got one of the most versatile big men in the league. He doesn't get a lot of look because he comes off the bench and he's not like that big. He's 6'8", I want to say. Maxi Kleber, he can stick defense. He can stick he can probably stick 1 through 5. I wouldn't say 1. I'll take that back. He can stick 3 through 5. I'm tripping. He cannot stick 1 through 2. Because them guards can kill him. Because he's not as fast, but he's strong. Like when they played Zion, and Zion was putting his back to him the whole game. He blocked Zion 5 times that game. I said that in another episode. He blocked Zion 5 times, the most Zion ever been blocked. So he's versatile because he can stick defense in the post and sometimes on the perimeter. And then on offense, he's that great pick and roller where he can dive and get that alley-oop, or where he can step back and shoot that three when you get the outlet pass. So like they're so versatile in each position, and then they got a winning head coach in Rick Carlisle who's already won a championship. So he already knows what to do in this playoffs, but it's of course going to be different because what's going on around the world, and it's no home court advantage. Everybody's playing at the same place, no crowd, but they have winning culture in the coach, and then they have these two young stars that can lead y'all, and it just looks to me like the only thing that's stopping them is themselves. And I feel like this team can go a long way if, let's say, a team like the Lakers come in one night and just sleep on them. That's an easy win for them because they did it before. They beat us before. I think they beat us. They beat us twice this year. They beat us before. And then the games that they lost, it were hard games. It was overtime games. They should have beat us 3 times, but Dwight fouled Steph Curry. That was funny. He fouled Steph Curry, so Steph Curry couldn't get a block. But yeah, this team is going to be scary someday. I mean, this team's already scary right now, but this team in the playoffs, I don't want to face them because I don't know what we're going to get. Because they can throw so much looks at LeBron, too. They can throw Luka in there. He'll probably get killed. I'm not going to lie. But then they just signed Marvin Williams before the season ends, so he's a great defender, and he can shoot. Then you can throw Tim Hardaway at him. He'll probably get killed. You can throw Dorian Finney-Smith. I forgot to talk about him. He's also like that person that can shoot the three, or he can also go for the alley-hoop and then stick great defense. So, like, they got so much looks, and then you can put him on Anthony Davis and LeBron. You can put Kristaps on Anthony Davis. You can put Maxi Kleber on Anthony Davis and LeBron, and, like, it'll be a hard matchup for them. So, this team is so deep in offense and defense. This team, if you look at the analytics, I don't really pay too much attention to analytics, but I heard from a podcast I watched through The Wire, they said this team is one of the best offensive teams in NBA history, according to advanced stats. So that's crazy to me because they're so young. They're really young, but I don't know. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. I really don't. But all right, sorry guys. My friend interrupted me. I told him I was about to film and he still called. That's a real friend for you. But what was I at? Oh, I was on the 76ers. Yeah, they're having a bad season. Inconsistent, filled with injuries, and some of that is not their fault, but most of it is. And but the good thing is, when the season was canceled, Ben Simmons was hurt, Joel Embiid was hurt, so they should be coming back fully healthy as the superstars that they are. So that should be good. And this team might be the best defensive team in the league because they have an elite defender. They have an elite defensive guy as a guard, and Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, he's elite at defense, and they got the Joel Embiid stopper on their team, Al Horford. He used to stop Joel Embiid every playoff. That's why they call him that. And then you got Tobias Harris, who can also stick defense, and then Josh Richardson, who's elite at defense, and then they got Matisse Thybulle on the bench, who's like that free safety where he doesn't really stick man to man, but he sticks, like, he stays at the free throw line. He just runs around all the time. So, like, he gets his steals up a lot. I think he's up there leading the league in steals, especially as a rookie. He's definitely leading the league in steals as a rookie, but he's all over the place. That's the league. That's where he used to play in college. He used to play that free safety role in basketball. You never really heard of that. I just made it up, but it makes sense. All they do is just run around, fill the passing lanes, so like it's really hard to score on him. And he's a long defender. He's really smart too as a rookie. But this team, to me, has the best chance to beat the Bucks. Now they demolished the Bucks on Christmas, where Giannis only had 18, 14, and 7, and he shot 8 for 27 from the field. Cause when in that game he had so much looks thrown at him, it was hard to score. Like, once you'll have Ben Simmons on you, that's an elite defender. Then you'll have Al Horford on you, he's elite. Then you have Joel Embiid on you, he's elite. So once you stop Giannis, you stop the Bucks. So this team in the playoffs, they can really do that. They can stop the Bucks to me, and it'll be hard for the Bucks to win against this team because this team is so top heavy and defensive heavy, and everybody in that starting lineup except Josh Richardson can guard Giannis at an elite level. So we'll see. We'll see what comes with that. I can't wait to see this team versus the Bucks. I hope that match happens because what Joel Embiid did against the Bucks the first game destroyed Brook Lopez as he should. Joel Embiid should be the most dominant player in the league, but like sometimes he just doesn't look like he wanted to play. So, but against the Bucks he did a real good job, and I like what I've seen from him. He was dominating. And then another thing this team did when they played the Bucks is they hit their threes. They shot 47% from the three as a team. So this team just got to come back consistent, hungry, knowing you're one of the best. Because to me, they're one of the best. This team, there's no reason why this team shouldn't be coming out the East. They have everything. They just don't have a deep bench. But when it comes to playoff time, you don't play the bench that much. You only play like 2 guys off the bench because you always want to have your best players in the game. So this team to me just got to come back healthy, consistent, wanting more, and wanting to show the world that they're not nothing to play with. And to me, this is make or break for Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. So like they got nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose because if they lose in the first round, then one of them has to get traded. To me, one of them has to get traded. And when this team's firing at all cylinders, this team's really hard to stop. Really hard to stop. When they're shooting and also sticking elite defense, that's game. That's game over. But next person we're going to talk about is Nikola Jokic. Now, to me, this is scary because Jokic lost a lot of weight in the quarantine. The picture just came out of him. He's skinny, real skinny. So what he used to do is use his weight to finesse you, and he used to always work. And he's one of the best passers of all time, especially at his position. So him being scrawnier now is going to be weird. Hopefully he comes back faster because he was really slow. So if he comes back faster, then nothing should change. But if he doesn't, he's going to get killed because he's going to be small and he's going to be slow. So if you get a switch on him with a guard, it's going to be easier to get past him. But if you're playing a dominant big, they're going to demolish him. But last year, he was emerging into a superstar to me. He averaged 24.8 points, 13 rebounds, and 8.9 assists in the playoffs. So it was games where he was coming out, especially like in Game 7 against the Blazers when they lost, but he had a good game, giving you 29, 13 points, and 7 assists in the Game 7. And then he had 33 and 12 in the Game 7 against the Spurs. So he shows up in the big moments, and he's showing us that he cares, and he understood that the weight that he had, even though it was such a blessing, it was also slowing him down because like he was fat, like real fat. Like normally he's like a little chubby, but like in the beginning of the season he was fat and he was playing terribly, so he lost a little bit of weight, and that's when he started turning up, giving us those 25 and 10 in games, like triple doubles every game. And that's when he started coming into that MVP conversation. I don't think he's not gonna be in there, not no more though. But he was getting there though. He was doing real good. So I just can't wait to see how he is coming back. I hope it doesn't affect his game that much, that he lost too much weight. But this year in the playoffs, I just feel like he's gonna be dangerous for that team because they got Paul Millsap back. They got Jamal Murray playing great. And this team's so deep. They got defense, scoring, great coach. I just feel like the only thing bad about this team is they're not playing Michael Porter Jr. And now I'm not the one to tell you play Michael Porter Jr. because I don't know, maybe it's like he doesn't stick defense, but like when they did play him, he was scoring 25 like he used to do in high school. Like he was doing real good. He had one game against the Pelicans, he had 15 and 10. So he was doing good, but I guess it's just the defensive side. So I'm not going to tell you put Michael Porter in, but I feel like that could be a hidden piece into y'all actually being a contender. Because like when you look at the Nuggets, you say, all right, they're good, but like they're not ready yet. They're not ready for the big leagues. They're not ready for the Bucks, the Clippers, the Lakers. But I feel like if you plug Michael Porter Jr. in at that 3, he can take you a long way. So I hope Jokic comes back healthy, looking good, and nothing changes from his game. But next I want to talk about 2 teams, and that'll probably be it for today. Oh no, I got another player. I might as well talk about him. Now this one is like an honorable mention because I don't know how he's gonna do. Kyle Kuzma. Now Kyle Kuzma, he was supposed to be our 3rd star in the Lakers, but it just looked like it was going to end that way because sometimes it just looked like he didn't care. He was terrible on defense, changing his hair every game, like letting that LA fan get to him. So his game just wasn't coming up like we thought it was. And it looked like we gave up the wrong person in him instead of keeping B.I. But I feel like if he comes back and he comes back with a different attitude and be that 3rd star we can get, that would be a long run for us. Like that will help out a lot because when we go to the playoffs, it's just going to be Anthony Davis and LeBron carrying us. But if you can give us that 18 that we want you to get and that we know you can get, that would go a long way for us. It'll go a long way. So I just hope that he comes back with a better mentality and like actually cares. I'm not gonna say he didn't care, but like it just looked like it. Like we seen when you had games without LeBron and AD at 36. Like we know you can give us that a lot. It's not gonna be 36 because now you're gonna be playing with them, but we know you can give us that 3rd 20-point score on that team. We know you can. It's just he wasn't doing that at all, and he was like making so much dumb plays and killed on defense. But I just want him to be that person to where he can lead our bench in the playoffs. And then also finish with the starters. Because he's better than some of our starters, but he didn't earn the position. So I just hope that he understands more and takes that leap in the playoffs. But now I'm going to talk about my last 2 teams. Second to last team is the Raptors. Now the Raptors, they're the champions, past champions. And I don't know how. They're the number 2 seed. Now, going into this year, I thought they weren't going to make the playoffs because I wasn't expecting Pascal Siakam to average 23.6, 7.5 rebounds, and 3.6 assists. I wasn't expecting him to be an all-star. I didn't expect Kyle Lowry to still be an all-star. Like, I thought he always needed that star next to him to make him look great, and he does. He got Pascal Siakam, but still, like I said, Kyle Lowry's really underrated to me. And like I said, in the playoffs, he showed that he's a playoff performer like last year. Like I told y'all, straight game 6, 22 points in the first half. Nobody was guarding him. You couldn't guard him. So in the playoffs, I feel like him and Siakam going to step it up. Siakam's going to have that bigger role because last year he averaged 16.5 points in the playoffs. That's going to be more now because you have that bigger role. You're the main scorer on this team. And then they have defenders all across the board. Everybody that plays can stick elite defense. Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell, Terrence Davis, Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, OG Anunoby. Like, everybody can stick defense. Everybody knows their role. Like, this team, they have a talent in finding hidden gems that no other team wants. Like, no other team wanted a Fred VanVleet or Norman Powell, but they made them the way they are now, which is players that's going to get a lot of money when they go to free agents. Like, Freddie's going to get at least $20 million in free agency. And he's going to get a lot of teams wanting him to be that lead guard, but I feel like he's going to sign back to this team because this is the team that made him who he is now, got him that championship. So, along with having Pascal Siakam, he has a lot of help behind him, so to where he don't have to carry that load because he's so young and he's only been to the playoffs at least twice, but like his role just became bigger last year, so he's still learning how to perform in the playoffs. So, but he has a lot of backup in Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry that can help him out. And this team, they can throw a lot of looks at Giannis. Like I said, with Kawhi, what they did was they had Kawhi stick Giannis at the top, but when Giannis got past Kawhi, he had two towers he ran into, and he couldn't score. So they had them same two towers in Ibaka and Marc Gasol. But now inside of Kawhi, you can throw you can throw a Pascal Siakam at him on top. So this team can also knock down the Bucks, but they'll have a little trouble with the 76ers to me. But I hope the team plays good in the playoffs. I hope Pascal Siakam shows us why he's that up and coming superstar, like he was showing last year. I didn't think it was going to improve this much, though. I didn't think it was going to improve this much. All right, so my next team is the Miami Heat. Now, the Miami Heat are getting led by Jimmy Butler, which is having a great year, an underrated year to me because I see what he's doing behind the scenes. Like, the old Jimmy Butler was the Jimmy Butler that wants to go out there and just give you scoring and elite defense. But this year he's taking a different route where he's doing scoring and defense, but he's also playmaking, and he's also taking a back seat so he can let his young talents grow. Like, if Jimmy came in like he did with the Bulls or the Timberwolves, then Bam wouldn't have been an all-star because Jimmy didn't understand back then that it's a team sport. Jimmy, now he understands that it's a team sport and that also he got to let his young talent grow and let them play while you just take that backseat. But if they're falling, you're going to lift them up and also show them that you're still top dog. You can still go out here and give us 20 to 30 points and defense. And that's what he's doing to me. He's having a great year. And then this team has so much depth in scoring and shooting, where they got Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk, three great shooters in this league that can help out Jimmy when he's having a bad day, because sometimes he doesn't be scoring a lot and he's shooting terrible from the three. He doesn't even take them no more. So this team's so deep. And then they got Bam Adebayo, like I said, the leader of that defense to me, because he can guard 1 through 5. And then you also have other elite defenders in Jake Crowder, Andre Iguodala coming off the bench, and they're veterans, so they know what to do in the playoffs. They know their role. They know they're not like these starters anymore. They know they're these bench players to come off the bench and give us defense and just help the team get better. So this team is elite all around. I just think the one thing they're missing is that scoring, that main scoring option, because Jimmy's shown he's not that main scoring option anymore. He can still do it, but like it's not consistent. So if this team was to get that, they'll be even more nastier. But in the playoffs, this team's going to be nasty because the defense that they can throw at Giannis, like I said, it was a game where Bam guarded Giannis, and Giannis only had 13 and 11. So he shut down Giannis that game, and they beat the Bucks. And they didn't even have Jimmy Butler because I think he was giving birth to it. Well, his girlfriend or his girl at the time was giving birth to his son. I think Jimmy Butler had a son, so he didn't play that game, and they won that game because Bam was shutting down Giannis. So like this team can give Giannis so much looks. This team can give Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid so much looks. So like this team after the 76ers, I think this team can come out the East because there's so much defense on this team, and it's going to be a hard team to stop. But that's it for my list of teams and players that you should be scared of in the playoffs. But I want to continue what I was talking about in the beginning of the episode, where I feel like the NBA should come back and the main players should come back, because this league has so much big voices in LeBron James, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, even though he's not coming back, so I can't really say him, but Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Kyle Kuzma. Like, it's so much people that have so much clout and like have a lot of people looking up to them, that like if the NBA was to come back, it would be a platform to where they need to spread the word and spread their insight and just educate the younger generation, because that's what's looking up to them right now, is a younger generation. So I just feel like the NBA should come back, and I hope it doesn't go wrong. I hope nobody gets the coronavirus. I hope None of the players get hurt. I just hope it's smooth and like it's learning. I hope it's educational for a lot of people. It's going to be educational for me because I get to see so much different insights on how they feel about the situation and what's going on. So I can't wait to see that. I hope players understand that that's the main goal, is to educate and to make a change. But that's it for this episode in Between the Lines. Again, this was a little bit of a bad episode. I kept stuttering. I kept having to stop. But I'm getting better. I'm getting a little bit better. So I think my intro is going to be, I made an intro, so I think it's going to be on this episode. If not, it'll definitely be on this next episode. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Torno got the recipe.